This
Rahim.
conference will now be recorded.
La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. Mushkil आसान या अली मदद रसान या अली मुश्किल 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 आसान या अली मदद रसान मुश्किल आसान या अली मदद रसान या अली 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 ला इलाहा इल्ला अंत सुब्हानका इन्नी कुन्तु मिनज़ ज़ालिमीन ला इलाहा इल्ला अंत सुब्हानका इन्नी कुन्तु मिनज़ ज़ालिमीन अल्लाह शुक्रन लिल्लाह वल्हम्दुलिल्लाह शुक्रन लिल्लाह वल्हम्दुलिल्लाह Thank you everyone.
Ya Ali Madad sir, Ya Ali Madad friends.
Ya Ali Madad, Ya Ali Madad. Shukranillah, walhamdulillah, subhanallah, subhanallah, subhanallah. Shukranillah, walhamdulillah. तमाम साथियों को या अली मदद. Let's start our session with this new Farman, with the Imam's Mubarak name, Nur Maulana Shah Karimul Husaini Hazir Imam, या मौलाए मेहरबान मदद फरमा अलीउल कय्यूम अली अल्लाह 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 मदद फरमा या मौला मेहरबान तौफीक ताहीद हिम्मत व यारी मौला तौफीक ताहीद हिम्मत व यारी मौला या मौला मेहरबान मदद फरमा अलीउल कय्यूम अली अल्लाह मदद फरमा या मौला please help us, come close to us मौला या मौला please keep your blessed hand on us मौला या मौला मेहरबान हमारे बहुत ही करीब आकर खड़ा हो जा मौला या मौला अपना दस्त मुबारक अपनी रूहानी शफकत मौला हम गरीबों पर रख मौला या मौला मेहरबान मदद फरमा या मौला मेहरबान मदद फरमा या मौला मेहरबान मदद फरमा अलीउल कय्यूम अली अल्लाह मदद फरमा या मौला तौफीक ताहीद हिम्मत व यारी मौला तौफीक ताहीद हिम्मत व यारी मौला या मौला तेरी मदद के बगैर हम ये काम नहीं कर सकेंगे मौला या मौला मेहरबान मदद या मौला मदद या मौला मदद तमाम साथियों को एक बार फिर याली मदद and welcome to our Farman Mubarak session. Today we will read the Farman of 1992, August 22nd of Canada. Please recite the Holy Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Mullah says, when you practice bandagi, when you sit in Baitul Khayal, this part when you sit in Bethul Khayal. Our key word आज की जो समझ है इस फरमान की वो इस अल्फाज से आने वाली है. Our understanding of today will come from this key word Bethul Khayal. Keep that in mind, and that is our center, our key word in this Farman today. Mullah says, when you practice bandagi, when you sit in Bethul Khayal, when you sit in that thought, which gives you an opportunity to reflect in your batin. जब आप बंदगी करने के लिए बैठते हैं तो आपका जो फोकस है, आपका जो मकसद है वो बातीन की तरफ ख्याल करने का है. Mullah says you are not making a practice, you are not sitting in bandagi concentrating on the physical world. It's not that this practice is a practice of physical thing, a physical word, a physical matter. ऐसा नहीं कि इबादत कोई जिस्मानी अमल है. ऐसा नहीं कि आप कोई जिस्मानी काम करने जा रहे हैं. बंदगी वो नहीं है. The physical world must be set aside. Matter of fact, you must leave your physical world aside. बल्कि आप अपनी जाती दुनियावी चीजों को, मैटर्स को एक तरफ छोड़ दें. This is the time that each individual gives to individual search for his or her spiritual happiness. ये वो वक्त है जिसमें हर एक, every individual is searching for the spiritual happiness. ये वो वक्त है कि जिसमें हम अलग अलग और इंडिविजुअली अस खुद, चाहे वो मर्द हो या औरत हो, वो अपनी रूहानी खुशी की गरज से, हमारे अपनी रूहानी खुशी की इच्छा से वो इस इबादत के अंदर बैठता है और उसका जो ताल्लुक है वो दुनिया से नहीं है. And this does not concern their physical world. For his or her enlightenment, and it is a submission which you individually make in individual search for enlightenment and spiritual happiness. Ibadat is for the enlightenment. Ibadat is for the spiritual happiness, and Ibadat is the act of submission. Submission. इबादत क्या है? इबादत दुनिया की चीज नहीं है. इबादत रूहानी खुशी और अपने बातीन को जगाने के लिए एक एक्ट है, एक अमल है, और उसके लिए कुल्ली तौर पर सबमिशन की जरूरत होती है. By now we all know the meaning of ibadat. Ittihad, kulli, submission. What is ibadat? Ibadat is to submit oneself totally by saying, Ya Mola, I am your slave and I submit myself to you for the sake of enlightenment and spiritual happiness. And this ibadat, it's a individual search. Individual search. What it means that each person who sits in ibadat, who sits in the bandagi, is seeking and searching for the enlightenment, for the nur, for the didar, for the happiness. And this search is inward. This thought is of the batin, not of desire nor of the physical matter. ये जो सर्च है वो बैतुल ख्याल है, वो हमारे अंदर की जानिब है, ना कि दुनिया की तरफ या बाहर की तरफ. ये हमारी रूहानी खुशी के लिए और एक ऐसी चीज की तलाश के अंदर जिसको आप स्पिरिचुअल हैप्पीनेस भी कह सकते हैं, इनलाइटमेंट भी कह सकते हैं, नूरानी दीदार भी कह सकते हैं. But all of the above is combinedly called Baitul Khayal, the thought of the Batin, not a matter of physical or outer world. यानी कि ये हमारा जो थॉट प्रोसेस है वो अंदर की तरफ है. ये जो सीख करना है, ढूंढना है, सर्च करना है, वो बातिन है, न के बज़ाहिर. Now with that understanding, let's move to the next paragraph, which will explain further the understanding of ibadat, bandagi and Baitul Khayal. Mullah says, this practice of individual search for spiritual enlightenment is generally speaking part of the Shia tradition. What did Mullah say? This is something new. All the Farman we have been reading above, we notice in each Farman, Imam gives us more and more understanding of what ibadat is. What we thought regarding ibadat a month ago is no longer valid because Imam has given us new understanding of the ibadat. So for today, in this Farman, Mullah says, the practice of individual search for spiritual enlightenment is generally speaking, part of Shia tradition, but it is not exclusively part of Shia tradition. There are groups historically within Sunni Islam who have also practiced and practice today the individual search for spiritual enlightenment, but in the Ismaili tradition, in the Ismaili tariqah, this has been there for a long, long, long time. In other words, the practice of ibadat always has been part of the Ismaili tariqah. This was the practice even before we were called Ismaili. This was the practice even before we were called Shia Ali. This practice is the practice of the Anbiya wa Awliya and the followers of them. क्या मतलब है कि ये इबादत की जो प्रैक्टिस की हम यहाँ पर बात कर रहे हैं वो हमारे मजहब में नया नहीं है, बल्कि ये इबादत submission, the practice of submission has been with us for long time. It has been part of our tariqa even जब हमारा नाम इस्माइली नहीं था. लोग हमको इस्माइली तरीके से इस्माइली के नाम से नहीं जानते थे, बल्कि ये उससे भी पहले का है जब लोग हमको शाये अली के नाम से पहचानते थे, बल्कि ये उससे भी पहले की ट्रेडिशन है जो हमेशा इमामों और पैगंबरों के साथ रही है. What it means is that this practice of ibadat bandagi always has been the part of the mu'mineen regardless of the time and age, whenever and whoever have stayed on the Sirat al-Mustaqim in the time of Imam or in the time before Mullah Ali. The example we can see and understand easily, and we can reflect on it easily. How did Adam, a farmer, a mu'min, how did he succeed to the level of Natik, Sahib Zaman, through Ibadat. Who gave him permission to do Ibadat? Who gave him Isme Azam? It was Imam of his time. Because Ibadat cannot be without Isme Azam, Bol, and Bol cannot be without the Imam. So you see, all of the Mu'mineen of all of the time, regardless of time and age, those who have stayed connected, very important point here, stayed connected with the Imam of the time, regardless of the age and era, the place and location, they were given this opportunity, they were given the Isme Azam to perform Betul Khayal. And we only taken one example of Adam. That was true, and we can see in the time of Ibrahim, we can see how Hazrat Musa would go on the top of Mount Sinai for Ibadat. We can see how Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam would go to Gare Hira for Ibadat. How were they performing Ibadat? They were performing Ibadat because they were attached, connected to the Imam of their time, and they have received the Betul Khayal bowl from the Imam. And that is what Imam is telling us in this Farman. But in the Ismaili tradition, in the Ismaili Tariqa, this has been there for long, long time. It's not something new to us today. Further, Mullah says, the bowl is, then Mullah gives the bowl to the Jamaat, and it means he who is above all else. What is bowl? What is bowl? The bowl is the name, the understanding of something which is above all else. बोल जो है वो ऐसी चीज नहीं कि जो आसानी से हमारे कॉम्प्रहेंशन के अंदर आसानी से हमारे अंदर आ जाए, क्योंकि ये एक ऐसी चीज है जो हर सोच, हर जाती जिस्मानी चीज से बालातर है. इसमें आजम is above all of the personal, individual, physical things. Matter of fact, इसमें आजम is such a name, such a ism of the Nur, which is above everything we can think of, everything that comes into our mind and our comprehension, our understanding, then Isme Azam is above that. Whatever you can think, Isme Azam is above all else. It is not a material concept. You have to be very clear in your mind that this is a matter of soul. Is a matter of soul. It means he who is above all else, about this world, about this time, about the human intellect. When we say that Isme Azam is above all else, इसमें आजम हर चीज से, हर सोच से, हर समझ से बालातर है। तो मौला फरमाते हैं कि ये रूह की बात है, रूहानियत की बात है। It's not a matter of physical, but a matter of soul. What it means? It means he who is above all else, above this world, whatever you can imagine physically or in this physical world is about that. If you think of a time, then it's about the time. If you think of a place, it's about the place. Matter of fact, it's about the human intellect. What does it mean? Something which we cannot comprehend. Now, here I would like to ask a question. If we cannot comprehend, then how will we understand the Isme Azam? And how will we logically, with understanding, can recite and practice the Isme Azam, the Betul Khayal? That would be a great question, right? What it means is that when you receive the Isme Azam and when you look at that word, the bowl, you will not be able to understand how a name, a word, will be able to open. How can this bowl be completed? How can this bowl be successfully fulfilled? How can this bowl would give me spiritual happiness? And that part we are not able to understand. So Mullah said, because when we think of something, our mind, our thoughts only run toward things that we know. And all the things that we know are limited in time and space. Everything we can think of it is in time and space. In other words, what Mola is saying, go behind, go above, go inside of yourself, leave the time and space, the physical matter behind. आप वक्त और जगह से बालातर होकर अपने आलम शख्सी के अंदर उतर जाएं. If you do that, then you will understand what is bowl and how bowl will work for you and how bowl will bring you that spiritual happiness and inshallah spark of light, the nur and the didar. So Mullah says, and symbolically you search to come close to He who is above all else. यानी कि जब आपने हर चीज को छोड़ दिया, especially when you stop thinking of ball in the time and space, when you left the physical matter or the worldly matter aside, then and then only you will be able to come. And Mullah uses the word symbolically. Symbolically, you will come closer and closer to the Nur, to the one who is above all else. What does it mean symbolically? He was never far away from you. He was never away from you. He was never outside of you. So something which is so close to yourself or within yourself, then how can you say come closer and closer? This thing is already in you. Imam has already given you that nur at the time of bowl giving ceremony. He have already given you this understanding, this nur, and everything that you had wished for. Then saying come closer and closer to the nur of imamat, or come closer to the nur, come closer to the understanding of the imam and the nur, that is just symbolically. In other words, seek and search for the nur which is in each one of us, because Imam has already, he already have given us that nur that which we are seeking is already in us. So Mola says symbolically, you search to come close to He who is above all else, to find the light of Hazrat Ali, to bring to yourself and to let it touch your soul. Once in your life, the Nur of Ali, the Nur-e-Imam, which Imam has given you when you went for Ismi Azam, just for your wish. Because when you wished, Ya Mullah, I wanted to progress, I wanted to elevate, I want to practice, I wanted to come closer to you, Mullah. Then Mullah, at the time of Ismi Azam ceremony, with that Ismi Azam, with that bowl, he gave the Nur and he put it inside the Ismi Azam and he had breathed into you. He has breathed that into you. Just like in the story of Adam, Allah breathed his soul, his Nur into Adam. The story is repeating today. Imam has breathed the Nur into you already. Don't look outside. It's not far outside of yourself. Matter of fact, it is in you at this moment. Only thing you have to do is to find, to search for the light of Ali, to bring to yourself and to let it touch Now this part is also something to reflect on. इसके बारे में भी हमको सोचना होगा। मौला फरमाते हैं आप इस नूर को छूने दें, आप ना रोकें, छूने दें इस नूर को जो आपके अंदर इमाम ने रखा हुआ है। Listen to this very carefully. Imam, in a simple language, is telling us something. Look at this line. And to let it touch your soul. Don't stop. Don't hesitate. Let that nur which is in you, which has been breathed into you, let that nur touch you. Let it touch your soul and intellect, and believe me, believe that day this nur will touch your heart, touch your soul, touch your mind. That happiness that you will feel will never be same. It would be one that you will never forget. This happiness, unlike any happiness you have experienced in your life, because it is like a child coming into the mother's arm after a long time. When a child is lost and all of a sudden he finds the mother, when mother takes him into her arm, that happiness, when this nur will touch you, you will never forget that moment, because this happiness, unlike any other happiness that you have ever experienced, let it touch your soul once in your life, at least once in your life, and seek to bring that light to you. Seek to find it. कहीं बाहर नहीं है वो, अंदर अंदर, because it's already in you. Seek that nur, seek to find it. And even if it is the shortest time that you can even imagine, and even if it is the shortest time that you can imagine, that doesn't matter. What matter is that it should touch you. And I once again, I give you the ball. Now this Farman cannot be more clear. If the light touches you for a moment, for a second, for a split second, let it touch. Because that touch, that happiness, that moment, may it be the shortest split second, that happiness you will never forget. That moment of success will remain with you for rest of your life. You will never forget. So let it touch you. Keep the ball to yourself. Very important part. And we have read this in our previous session. When you receive that ball, keep that ball to yourself. Do not share. Do not share. Don't talk about it. Keep it to yourself. Keep that bowl to yourself, and I pray that you be successful. Amen. And today I give you my special blessing for success in Bandagi. See what Mullah wants for us. Mullah wants nothing but success for us. Mullah क्या चाहते हैं? Mullah हमारी कामयाबी चाहते हैं इस मैटर में. And Mullah says, I pray that you be successful, and today I give you my special blessing for success in your bandagi. That is Imam's wish and prayers. A special blessing. And my prayer are with you. That is the one part we should always remember. When we are sitting in ibadat, that Mola is with us, His blessing is with us, His hand is on our shoulder, He is standing right next to us. Just sitting in bandagi should be a pleasant moment for a moment, because at that time Mola is with you, His blessing is with you, His hand is on your shoulder. Then why would we not wake up every day for this blessing? Because each time you wake up and sit in ibadat and you call on your Isme Azam, Imam replies. Imam replies. Sitting in bandagi itself is a great blessing for a moment. A great blessing for the moment. Mullah says, and my prayer are with you. And remember, when you sit in bandagi, the Imam is by your side. That itself should make us happy. Remember, when you sit in bandagi, Imam is by your side. He is close to you. He's close to you. Kanavadan, Kanavadan, Kanavadan. Special blessings for this success. Kanavadan. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. I believe this Farman will bring lot of understanding and happiness for us, because this is one Farman which is most simple, easy to understand. And Mola does not want anything but success for us. Think about it. Every time you wake up for ibadat and call on Isme Azam, Mola is with you right there. Just like that day when you went to Imam's Huzur to receive their Isme Azam, just like that. Imam is with you. He's holding your hand. He's right next to you. His hand is on your shoulder. Remember that part. And in that is so much blessing and happiness. Inshallah ta'ala. Let me stop here. If you have any comments or question, then we can talk about it. G.
Subhanallah, sir. Subhanallah. I think we have received one question just right now. Let me see, sir. So friends asking, what is the significance of seeing different universe during Bandagi? Some universes are vast with colors like blue, pink, and red.
Okay. I don't completely understand the question, but if you are talking about the Alam-e-Shakhsi, the personal world, and having a mushahida, a vision, a sight of the first heaven, because it is only and only the first heaven where you will find colorful lights. Only on the first heaven. Because all of the above stage, after crossing that first heaven, the Nur is colorless or is no longer colorful. So if your question was, and like I said, I don't understand the question completely. If your question was, what does it mean when one see colorful lights? Then what it means that one has reached to the lower, underline word, lower heaven. The heaven which is very, very close to this world, to you and to us, and that is the first stage and very, very lower heaven. But that is not the final stage. Matter of fact, that is the lowest heaven a mu'min can reach. And you can read that in the Quran. How? Ali Allah do not want all who have reached there to stay there. So there are two kinds of people who will reach to this lower heaven. One with the ilm and understanding, inshallah with the Imam's blessing, will move forward to higher heaven, higher level of nur and understanding, and all other will be pushed back and pushed out of this lower heaven. So if we or any of us would reach to that lower heaven, the closer heaven to us, we should seek, work even harder on ibadat and ismi azam, and instantly, quickly move upward to the second and other heavens behind that heaven, because that is the heaven. If you stay there for too long, there is a chance that you also be pushed back with others and majority of others. So if you are talking about that, please listen to this very carefully. This is not the nur nor the heaven that you were seeking. You wanted to go further than that, higher than that, and as quickly as possible you wanted to leave that lower heaven to get to the higher heaven. G.
Sir, we have another question friends shared in the private chat. Friends asking, why seek the light of Hazrat Ali? Why Imam not saying seek my light, though the light is same?
So who is Hazrat Ali today? Just ask yourself a question. Who is Ali today? Who's Ali as Zaman today? Imam and his humility. If we don't understand that one yet, we need to pay a closer attention to Hazrat Imam today. He's always talking about the Noor of Ali, Noor of Imamat, something which is above all else. Inshallah. Who is Ali today? Think about that. G.
Sir, we don't have a question in the chat. Friends, if you have any question, please unmute your device.
All right. If there are no more comments or question, we can definitely stop here.
हेलो
And then
याली
G.
मदर
Yeah,
अच्छा अपन जो इसमें आज बोलते हैं यानी कि अपन दिन में आते हैं तो जैसा कि समझो कि याली का तो याली याली ऐसा ही बोलने का कि उसको राग में बोलने का या अली तो उसमें जरा मैं कंफ्यूज हो जाता हूँ आप समझेंगे इसके बारे में
जी इसमें आजम बोलने का एक तरीका है और उसकी स्पीड का भी एक तरीका है अगर हम इसमें आजम की बात करें तो याली 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 और चूंकि आप अंदर से बोल रहे हैं तो इसकी जो स्पीड है it should be a great speed याली 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 तकरीबन 120 मर्तबा 1 मिनट के अंदर हम गाना नहीं गा रहे हैं राइट हम गिनान नहीं बोल रहे हैं हम कॉल कर रहे हैं जब आप किसी को कॉल करते हैं तो किस तरह बुलाते हैं किसी को आप उसका नाम लेते हैं ना या अली वो एक कॉल है वो बुलाना है या अली या अली या अली या अली 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 यानी कि ना सिर्फ उसको कॉल की तरह इस्तेमाल करना है बल्कि उसको बहुत तेजी के साथ इस्तेमाल करना होता है जी
ये सुल्तान मोहम्मद साहब का फरमान है कि तुम्हारी पूरी आंख बंद मत करो थोड़ी सी खुली रखो तो उसका जवाब मेरे को एक जन ऐसा दिया कि तुमको नींद नहीं आ जाओ ना इसके लिए तो ये जवाब राइट है
एक्चुअली पहले तो मुझे वो फरमान देखना होगा कि वो कौन सा फरमान है जिसमें ये लिखा हुआ है फिर उसके कांटेक्ट क्या है पूरे फरमान का वो देखना होगा क्योंकि कोई भी फरमान का रेफरेंस है उसका पूरा कांटेक्ट क्या है वो पहले देखना होता है और अगर ये फरमान है तो आप जरूर पेश करें आप उसको पढ़कर उस पर डिस्कशन कर सकते हैं मगर नाचीज की नजर से ऐसा कोई फरमान कभी नहीं गुजरा है तो कौन क्या बोलता है वो मुझे नहीं पता है लेकिन अगर कोई ऐसा कुछ बोलता है तो हमें क्या करना चाहिए आप मुझे दिखाएं वो फरमान कौन सा है उसका पूरा कांटेक्ट क्या है किस एनवायरनमेंट में क्या फरमाया है वो पहले देखना होगा हमको ये तरीका है लॉजिकल तरीका राइट इंटेलेक्चुअल तरीका है ये जी
So we have a question in the chat. How do we observe light or have visions during Bandagi? Is it observed in our third eye, or we say spiritual eyes because our physical eyes are closed during Bandagi?
Okay, I think whoever is asking question, I think what he's saying or she's saying, do we look at the Ismi Azam through our mind, through our thoughts? When we use the word third eye, spiritual eye, if our spiritual eye was open, we don't even need to sit in Bandagi then, correct? If our spiritual eye was open, we would not required, we would not need to sit in the Bandagi, because Bandagi is the one which will open that Batini eye, the Batini ears for us. So be careful in our thoughts, in our understanding, that what is Batini eye, what is spiritual eye, and how can we see with it this miasm initially at the beginning when their eye is not even open. So what I believe this person is saying, should we look at that with our thoughts, our mind? Yes, that is correct. Just like anything right now, if you close your eyes, you can imagine things that you have seen before. That's why it is important for us to know and practice by writing that bowl so we can see that word in our mind. Please listen to those lecture on Isme Azam and bowl, where the total understanding of how this bowl is recited and how and where to keep that bowl in your mind. Inshallah, step by step, we will understand the total process of reciting Isme Azam. G.
So then the question, how do we concentrate in Bandagi?
Again, please listen to those lectures on Ibadat Bandagi, where step by step, the teaching of how to sit, how to concentrate, and we have done those lecture, I don't know, a couple of dozen times now, because that is a very good question, and I would say take some time to listen to those lecture, to understand how, because it is very helpful if we know how to concentrate on Isme Azam. Please, I will request, listen to those lectures. G.
So don't have any question in the chat. Friends, please unmute your device if you have any question.
Okay, we are right on top of the hour. I think we can stop here. If there are any other question, please send to Kamre Sahib or Nachiz, and inshallah, with Mullah's help and mercy, we will be able to look at it and answer them. To those friends who have been asking question, thank you for your question and thank you for your comments. And please listen to those lectures which were recommended for the ibadat, for the bandagi, for the understanding of Isme Azam. Inshallah, with the ilm, you will be able to have the total and complete understanding of the Isme Azam And when you will sit with that ilm, with that understanding, it will give you a great deal of happiness, inshallah. Because Imam's wish and blessing and Khanavadan is with each one of us. Thank you, everyone. Ya Ali Madad, Ya Ali Madad,
Ya Ali Madad.
Ya Ali Madad,
Ali Madad, Aziz bhai.
Ya Ali
Yali
Madad,
Madad.
Ya Ali
Yali
Madad,
Madad.
Ya Ali Madad,
Yali Madad.
Yali
Ya Ali
Madad.
Madad, Ya Ali Madad,
Thank you,
Yali
sir.
Madad.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
Ya Ali
Thank you,
Madad,
Yali Madad.
Ya Ali Madad, Ya Ali Madad.
Shukran.
Alhamdulillah.
Yali Madad. Aziz Saib, I miss your session today. So when you will, this record will come back
Kamre Sahib, inshallah, will send tomorrow.
tomorrow. Okay. Okay,
Inshallah.
because my app was something wrong today, so I missed everything today.
Inshallah, inshallah.
Okay, thank you. Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
Ya Ali
Yali
Madad,
Madad.
Ya Ali Madad, Ya Ali Madad, Ya Ali Madad.
Set alarm for 8 a.m.